Well, right on time for News Now. It's my hope that your Friday is coming up well. I'm here to keep you posted on what is happening in the world of news. My name is Lida Lela. Lots lined up for you, but first, the highlights. Top on news. Kenya's Raila Odinga set to launch his AUC bid in Addis Ababa this evening. And the Ministry of Health from Monday will set up help desks to help registration of patients into the new health scheme, SHA. And lecturers paralyze learning in all public universities for 2 weeks now, following the ongoing lecturers' strike.
We are on this strike till the government does its part.
We march straight to it, where Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga is expected in an hour from now to launch his continental campaign for the African Union Commission chairmanship candidacy at Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. And according to the Odinga campaign secretariat, the event that is to be attended by African diplomats and other regional representatives will give him an opportunity to unveil his vision and priorities for the African continent in line with the AUC or the AU agenda, that is 2063. Odinga is facing competition from his main challenger, Djibouti Foreign Affairs Minister Mahmoud Yusuf, who has the backing of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation countries. The other two candidates are from Madagascar and Mauritius.
1.4 billion. In the next 20 more years, 1/3 of the population is going to be living on this continent. And Africa is the richest continent on the planet Earth in terms of resources. The paradox is the richest is also the poorest in terms of living conditions of its people. This is what we need to be dealing with. And if we deal with that, Africa will rise. And tomorrow I'll be telling you a story of the African lion. And this message to the other animals. So I don't want to preempt what I'm going to say tomorrow. I've acted as high representative on infrastructure on the continent. If you don't address infrastructure, then the bureaucracies, which the president is talking about, the non-tariff barriers that we have put against each other, will not be able to benefit from the potential that we have as a continent of Africa.
Well, all the best to the former Prime Minister. Now, to matters education, police in Kakamega have launched an investigation into exam cheating after a school supervisor was accused of taking photos of exam papers and distributing them on social media. And now the DCI and Education Ministry officials visited the school, confiscated phones and other devices from exam supervisors, and equally arrested them for questioning at the DCI Kakamega offices. Kakamega County Commissioner, that is Mwangi Meru, confirmed the incident and stated that he is awaiting a full report from the DCI before giving an official statement to the media. And in the same breath, the Principal Secretary for Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, has urged exam center managers and school heads not to risk their careers by allowing cheating during examinations. And now speaking at the office of the Deputy County Commissioner in Kikuyu, where he was distributing KCSE exam papers, Dr. Kipsang stated that only 11 cases of teachers attempting to bring in phones and other devices have been detected nationwide. He warned private school directors who failed to register students, stating that it is a criminal offense under the NEC Act. And he added that his ministry is working to reduce the number of security officers to allow students to take exams peacefully and encourage parents to advise their children to reduce early pregnancies.
We've ran a good race so far. There have been few incidences of real isolated incidences of telephones. I think across we might have had around 11 cases, I think. And to us, this is a good run this year. And I would want to thank our teachers because we are moving towards ensuring that this is a school exercise, that the schools can be able to manage their processes all the way from teaching to assessment and examinations. There are consequences according to law for not registering children, because all our children, all, be they in private schools and those in our public schools, we pay for exams. Government pays for exams. And therefore there is no reason why anybody would not do it. There was a school in Eldred which never did it, and already the director and the owner of the school are already in court. And any other case, the law will take its course, because there is no reason at all, no reason why we should not register any child because the children and their parents don't pay for examination. It is government that pays for this.
Parents and students of Silver Bells School in Eldoret have called on the government through the Ministry of Education to provide clarification and guidance after their students sat for a fraudulent KPSEA exam. And while marching to the County Commissioner's office, the parents stated that since the school was closed, they have not received any form of information on when the students will sit for the actual exam. The parents are urging for better communication to enable them to prepare for their children's transition to secondary school, JSS, by January.
Mimi kama mzazi, tangu Wednesday, hii maneno ionekane kwamba wanafunzi walifanya mtihani fake, hatujaipata mwelekeo mzuri. Asa sisi wazazi, tumekuwa tukizungukia hapa na pale kuhakikisha watoto wetu wamefanya mtihani. Lakini wakati tulipofika sub county hatukuelekezwa vizuri, we were not satisfied with the information. Wakati tumekuja county, we are not satisfied with the information. They are not giving us the period ni lini watafanya mtihani. Hata sisi wazazi, mtoto anakuuliza mam, ni lini nitafanya mtihani? Wewe kama mzazi unashindwa hata jibu.
Mtihani ulifaili. Hatujawahi pata jawabu kamili. Haswa vile tumefika hapa asubuhi, hatujapata hata washikadau wowote kutusaidia sisi kama wazazi. So swali ni kwamba watoto wetu wako gizani na nani atawasaidia?
Tulifanya mtihani lakini sisi tukifanya tulisikia vibaya. Tulifanya mtihani ya IFI na wengine walifanya ilikuwa ukweli, sisi tulifanya fake. Tulisikia vibaya. Na sisi nataka kuambia serikali watusaidie sisi tufanye mtihani.
The country has spent close to 1.5 trillion to pay local borrowing interests in the last financial year, up 30% from the around, that is about 1.1 trillion Kenya shillings in the previous year. This is in addition to almost 800 billion shillings servicing to external debt. And our National Treasury has now issued a stern warning against further borrowing, cautioning that if there is no declaration, then the country will use all collected revenue to pay interest. And of course, the current stock debt stands at a whopping 10.58 trillion shillings. And despite this, parliamentarians are moving towards moving the debt ceiling to 12 trillion shillings.
Those stem from not just the...
And that is why at the National Treasury we have pursued a fiscal consolidation strategy. Because we are saying that we can't continue taking more debt, because now we are at a level where we are at the cliff. If we continue taking, default it could be imminent, and that is not going to be good for the economy. For our pensioners, for everyone who has invested in the stock market, capital markets, and even for our banks. So we need to start the discipline.
And what always comes to my mind is how can we reduce waste? For instance, can we reduce commitment fees? Can we reduce late payment fees and penalties? I mean, there are those avoidables that don't have to be part of the debt. And then I've seen deferred charges, I've seen service charges, sometimes which I don't understand, that really load the liability that we have at the end of the day.
As curtains fall for the 21 Kenya primary schools head teachers capture that brought together more than about 15,000 head teachers of public schools, education stakeholders are now appealing, that is, to the Ministry of Education to make sure that they leverage on technology to disseminate information on the competency-based curriculum. And now the stakeholders have identified a communication gap during his visits to schools across the country. They said that the train has left the station as CBC will be implemented and the country will not go back to the 844 system. Now the stakeholders lauded the new curriculum, saying it will have a far-reaching impact if it is implemented well.
Holders wa elimu, ningeomba watu kama vitengo vya KICD waingie kwa social media, watengeneze programs kwa TV, waelezee watu, kwa sababu watu hawana habari. Kwa mfano, watu hawajazoea kufanya mambo ya projects, walizoea mambo ya theory. Sasa CBC iko na subjects mingi na iko na theory mingi, na wazazi pia wako na resistance. You know, watu huwa wana deny, they are in denial, wanakataa zile vitu ambazo hawaelewi.
Walimu ambao walisomea historia tunawapea kufunza hesabu na sayansi. Hiyo ndio changamoto mimi naona, na pia serikali haitupei pesa ya kutosha.
Tuko tayari kwa grade 9, wanafunzi pia wako tayari, na pia tunashukuru serikali kuwa wamejikakamua hasa kutupatia madarasa, hata kama sio 100%. Wengi wetu wamepata darasa moja au mbili kulingana na the need of the school.
Police in Machakos County have nabbed illicit brew suspected to be valued at 3.4 million shillings. 2 suspects were arrested when police officers raided their den in a homestead in Mumbuni. And Machakos County Police Boss Patrick Lubolia says that they got the information from a tip-off by the locals. Now, more than about 450 cartons of the brew were nabbed during the raid.
Boxes of trace alcohol valued at 1,864,000. With regard to the super brand of alcohol, they impounded 517 boxes whose market value is 1,551,000. If you combine the total value of the two brands.
Hii vita tulianza kitambo. Tumeshika bangi, tumeshika pombe haramu, all these types of drugs. Tumegundua kitu moja. Hao wakora wenye wanafanya hii biashara ambayo si halali, kwa sababu polisi wameintensify patrol, wameanza sasa kutoroka town, kurudi mashinani huko kwenda kuficha ulanguzi wao kule mashinani.
The Aga Khan University Hospital has launched a new diagnostic service unit that is using next-generation sequence NGS technology that enables doctors to profile tumors as well as investigate multiple genetic drivers simultaneously. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, the tests will facilitate detection of hereditary cancer symptoms in families with strong history of common cancers.
In Kenya, Cancer is the third highest cause of death after infectious and cardiovascular diseases, with over 47,000 new cases reported annually and over 32,000 deaths reported every year. Late diagnosis has been cited as the main impediment to cancer treatment, hence leading to the loss of lives. Bid to address this challenge, the Aga Khan University Hospital has launched a new technology dubbed Next Generation Sequencing, NGS, a versatile technology that will help oncologists assess genes in a human body to establish whether they are tumor genes or normal genes.
This technology has been used a lot in research labs, but here in Kenya we really haven't harnessed it in order to improve healthcare.
This new technology will equally help medics and researchers establish why there has been an increase in cancer cases among the younger generation. Additionally, the NGS technology will provide an avenue for oncologists to determine the best and most effective treatment and medication for cancer.
So what this technology will help us do is to answer some of the important questions. For example, why are we seeing very young patients with cancer? Why do they progress very quickly?
Another key concern is the worrying trend where patients are diagnosed with multiple cancers, as well as the rise in genetically inherited cancer.
The reason why we want to test the tumor is to identify the drivers. So tumors will generally have a driver mutation that are making them grow faster. They have an advantage over the normal cells.
The Aga Khan University Hospital is now seeking to come up with immunotherapy which seeks to trigger one's immune system to fight the cancer better. So far, all the drugs are available to aid the upcoming therapies. However, the only hurdle is conducting the actual testing. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Liz, for that story on a beautiful innovation. And my director says we have some more on matters education. Straight to it. Over 1,500 ECDE teachers will receive full sponsorship for diploma training through a partnership between Kiambu County Government and the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD. And our Kiambu Governor, Kimani Wamatangi, has stated that the teachers will join the county's annual 500 million bursary fund and will be enrolled in recognized institutions offering ECDE courses. The county's education CEC said that the program will improve teaching effectiveness and increase teacher numbers, with the county government planning to hire about 250 more teachers in January. That is to improve the student-teacher ratio.
Learners, it was crucial that we engage all the teachers, both those that are employed by the government and those that are employed by the Board of Management, to enhance the quality of education in our Kiambu ECD centers.
And they get to know and learn the new models of how our children, the new models of education, how the children can be taught in a new way. He's even spoken about, so indeed we need more teachers, and even once we get those teachers, even them will bring them in for capacity building.
The ECD Center, this workshop is one of the best workshops which has ever been planned in Kiambu County, meant to equip ECD teachers with the right skills and attitudes so that they can be able to address the issues that children are facing, not only teaching them, but also helping them.
Enablers. This is an enabler to all of us to ensure that whatever we give to our learners, we give to the best interest of the child.
Over 5,000 residents of Kimugadura farm in Segera, Laikipia County are facing eviction despite living on the land for over 40 years. The 15,000-acre plot is claimed by 37 absentee landowners who allowed settlement but have not developed the land. The community, however, insists that land is there, or the land is theirs, or its ancestral home, pointing to infrastructure such as schools, boreholes and government installations as evidence of their long-standing presence. With over about 1,200 students in local schools and family members buried on the land, the residents have called on the government to prevent their eviction and recognize their rights, while the land dispute continues between herders and the absentee landowners. Yes, we are working to give you that story, but allow us to take a quick short break. We come back on that very note.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year, wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
All right, welcome back to News Now. We still have more lined up for you, and we begin on that note of matters health, where the Ministry of Health now says that help desks will be set up by Monday next week to help in registration of patients into the new health scheme, that is SHA. Additionally, patients stranded abroad have been urged to reach out to the Social Health Authority to receive the necessary assistance in terms.
Looking to set up the help desks as soon as possible, soonest by Monday. So we will have the help desks to improve registration. And you can see this is coming from that level, the political elite, because they have seen that it actually works. Yeah, it is just because of misinformation that Kenyans are not utilizing the services. And so we are looking to expand to ensure that we have help desks across and even to the various constituencies, so that people can actually register and have access to services. Regarding the stranded patients, we are requesting that they can reach out through the call center to the Social Health Authority, and each individual case will be addressed accordingly. But we are working on policies to ensure that there is accessible care even to that level, because that was part of the benefit package.
We now get sporty, and the Football Kenya Federation county elections slated for this Saturday have been stopped by a Kitui court. A group called Kenya Football Association KFA filed the case today, claiming that they are the rightful body to oversee the elections. The court issued an injunction preventing the FKF Electoral Board from conducting the exercise until the case is heard. And now tomorrow's elections were to elect FKF branch officials comprising of chairperson as well as the deputy secretary, treasurer, women's and youth representatives, as well as the FKF Electoral Board is currently responding to this development. Okay, it is less than 30 days to the second edition of the Great Chepsaita Cross Country. The race will take place on the 7th of December at Chipkill Mill, that is secondary school in Tarbo constituency, Uasin Gishu County. Over 10,000 runners are expected to participate in the annual event, which is open to children, teenagers, amateurs, seasoned and senior athletes. The competition has over 10 categories and international runners are expected to be part of the extravaganza. This year's theme is to run for education, and patron Farouk Kibet this week trained with young athletes at the venue. Scholarships worth over 10 million shillings will be distributed to 1,000 needy students, that is from 10 different schools, as a school fees. Farouk Kibet is the patron of this very race.
Mimi roho yangu inafurahi sana kuona kwamba unaweza kumuinua mtu mwingine akafaulu. Hata sasa yeye ndiye ametutengenezea chai. Hiyo ni furaha yangu. Mambo ya huyo mama nimemwona leo anafanya mazoezi na anajua atashinda. Sasa nataka tu kuhimiza kwamba ikiwa tutakuwa tunafanya hii kila mwaka, itainua jamii kwa hali ya uchumi wao na hali ya kusomesha watoto watapata kwa ile hali ya urahisi sana katika sehemu hii na kwingine. Na imiza yangu tu ni kwamba tunajaribu kuvunja maneno mengine maofu. Sasa ule mama sasa wasingatii mambo ya pombe tena, wanasingatia mambo ya kuza mambo ya ng'ombe, kukamua maziwa, peleka hiyo shule. Hiyo ndio himizo kubwa ambayo tunawaambia hao.
Mimi ni mwenyeji wa hii area. Imetusaidia sana sana sana. Vile tulikimbia siku ile tukapata mablanketi, wengine wakapata pesa na watoto wetu wakapata ng'ombe. Na sasa area hii pombe imeisha kabisa.
Kung'ang'ana na mazoezi. Iko karibu ifike.